guess before we get started, just so everybody knows, this is the update about the juvenile shooting. Anybody that wants any information about curfews for this weekend, you guys can get with us after the meeting and we'll get you those stats over.
Is everyone ready?
Yep.
You go ahead and just state your name and spell it for us and give us your title.
My name is John Stewart, John Stewart. I'm a captain with the Detroit Police Department assigned to organized crime.
When you start and tell us what happened the other night, where you guys are with the case?
Yeah, on August 27th at around 6:15, we received a 911 call for a young lady shot in a park in the area of 19800 Shaner. Upon arriving, officers observed a young lady shot in her left forearm. They immediately rendered aid and got medics to the scene where she was conveyed to the hospital. Shortly after making the scene, officers were able to canvass the area and identified a male who was in possession of a purple semi-automatic pistol. This pistol also matches the gun that was described by witnesses at the shooting scene, leading us to believe we were able, at that point, had the weapon that had fired the shot that struck the young lady, but other evidence led us to believe that the young man who had it wasn't in fact our shooter. Well, yesterday, officers in the 9th Precinct apprehended who we believed to be our shooter, who was a 13-year-old male.
13?
Yes, he's a
That's insane.
Yes. The victim in this situation being 15 and the young male being 13, and we're able to identify at this time that they're both from the same household.
How are they connected?
The young lady went to the park in order to meet another young lady to have a fight, at which point her 13-year-old brother produced the handgun and fired a shot that struck the young lady.
So, but the gun belonged to somebody else?
So right now, it's part of our investigation to trace back the path of ownership of the gun. But we just find it alarming that, a 15-year-old girl would go to a park to fight with her 13-year-old brother who's armed with a gun.
So the person she was scheduled to fight with was her brother?
No, she was scheduled to fight another unknown young lady at this time.
Where does her brother come into play?
Her brother went to the park with her to go fight the young lady.
And accidentally shot his own sister?
Yes, we believe at this point the shooting was accidental.
Can you talk about 13-year-olds getting their hands on firearms?
I mean, it's tragic. It comes down to it. Right now, we got two children. One, a 15-year-old girl, should be focused on what dress she's going to wear for homecoming. But now she's focused on rehabbing to see if she'll make a full recovery from being shot. And we have a 13-year-old boy who should be in the 8th grade deciding what he's going to do for high school next year, worried about suffering the consequences of accidentally shooting his sister. We need, and like I said before, both these children come from the same household. So when it comes down to it, the time for sleep at the wheel parenting needs to stop. We need parents to engage their children, to know where they're at any given time. Looking at this young lady's history, she recently, earlier this month, was just released from JDF, and looking at her in our Detroit police reporting system, she has a long history that goes back involving assaultive behavior, from simple assault to aggravated assault, some firearm possession, some runaway issues. I mean, there's been multiple chances for those responsible for this young lady to look up and see, hey, she may need some redirection on her path. She may need some trajectory adjustment. So I think from this incident, we as stakeholders in this city need to look and take inventory of those who we have influence over, the children that we have influence with, and seek to try to modify the behaviors that we see that are destructive. Especially when you have someone who's being involved with the law at a young age like 13 and 15. We really need to be more accountable to holding children responsible and giving them that gift of love in the form of discipline and in the form of accountability.
So, just so I'm clear, the 13-year-old, who did the gun actually belong to?
It's still part of our investigation to trace the path of ownership of the gun. We can't say at this time, but it's ongoing. If we do find that one of the parents are accountable for that gun to come into those children's hands, they would definitely be held responsible.
Where in the park did this happen?
Just in the park, closer to the Shaner side.
So, are there charges against the 13-year-old?
Yes, the 13-year-old has to be held accountable for firing a shot in a public park and for being in possession of that handgun, so there will be charges filed.
It's just an alarming story.
It is. And like I say, the department, we're doing all we can to help. We have CVI partnerships where we have resources for youth that have troubles, and we have processes in place to get them mentorship, to get them guidance, but it starts at home. That first step of accountability, the greatest accountability agent that a child has, it starts with the parents and then the family members around them. If you are a parent and you have a child that's experiencing hard times or you see on a negative path, don't hesitate to call the Detroit Police Department, because we do have resources to help you in diverting your child's path from a negative outcome.
We good?
Yeah, this has been a very violent summer, particularly involving teenagers, young children. Would you mind maybe commenting personally about what that is like dealing with as a police officer, seeing so many youth affected in the city?
Yeah, I mean, it's in policing, you get used to ages going down as you get older, right? Every year, the ages get lower. But to see a 13-year-old as a target being apprehended for a shooting it should be troubling to anybody, you know, not just a police officer. The fact that a child that young is not only able to arm themselves, but has the willingness to pull it out in a park and to fire a shot, it should be troubling to anybody, not just police.
What about the fight itself that's supposed to happen? What do we know about the other girl? Did she know? It was like a meetup and they planned to fight with each other?
That part of it is still under investigation. Like I say, we're focused on apprehending the shooter at that initially, so it's still under investigation.
All right, thank you, everybody.